feel the mugginess out there, and in some cases there's some mist for some folks early this morning, but we have better rain chances than just some mist in the week ahead. I'll have those details and get you through your weekend coming up.
We all know that things have gotten very expensive in recent years, and that's why more people are taking on second or even third jobs just to put food on the table. Our Christian Riley spoke with a local parent about how she's managing this through the holidays this year.
Do you ever feel like you have to work 2, 3, even 4 jobs just to make ends meet? Well, you're not alone.
Emotionally, it's really hard because you just feel like no matter how hard you're pushing, you're not winning.
More than 5% of employed Americans are working 2 or more jobs, according to federal labor stats. That's the highest it's been since the height of the 2008 recession.
There's a lot of uncertainty, and with uncertainty, people start thinking about ways to mitigate their risk.
With sticky inflation continuing to push prices higher, many people are picking up side jobs just to stay afloat.
Things just got really bad really fast. The prices for food, clothes for the kids.
That's Cindy Carter. She's a full-time nurse, content creator, and single mother of 3. But within the last 6 months, she started managing the social media pages of several local businesses to help keep food on the table.
You just feel like you're failing as a parent. I cannot get ahead. You think you're ahead, and then it's another expense.
And she's not alone. Some people are turning to technology to find side hustles. I spoke to the CEO of JobSnap, who says his app has grown in popularity as people look to market their skills for extra money.
There's a lot of folks that never thought they would find themselves in the gig economy.
With the holidays right around the corner, that's adding stress to many families.
It's really hard. I'm already trying to strategize Christmas, and I have no idea what's going to happen for Thanksgiving.
Cindy says she would do anything for her children.
It doesn't matter if you have money or you don't. When you're a parent, that survival mode just constantly kicks in.
Are you working a side hustle this holiday season? We want to hear from you. Send your story to criley@ksat.com. Christian Riley, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, Christian.
Yeah, great information there, and please email him. He's a good guy. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures. We are mild this morning. Temperatures in the upper 60s in San Antonio. And what I've done here is I've overlaid the clouds, and you can see that where we're seeing a little bit more of clearer skies, temperatures are actually cooler. So Carrizo Springs is at 59 right now, LaGrange is at 61, and Victoria is at 57. Meanwhile, we're about 10 degrees warmer here in San Antonio. That's because these clouds kind of act like a blanket and keep in the warmth from the day yesterday. And those clouds are making it, just generally feel pretty muggy out there. In fact, we do have areas of mist around San Antonio and even some fog. Visibility is down to 1/4 mile in Devine, down to 1/2 mile in Los Maples. By the way, the trees are changing in Los Maples. Visibility down to about 8 miles in Nixon, down to 1 mile in Gonzales, and down to 1 mile in Uvalde. So there are areas of patchy fog out there this morning. And I think today the morning clouds are going to be a bit more stubborn than they were yesterday, meaning they'll probably hang on until about 11 o'clock noon before we see pretty much total sunshine in the afternoon. So looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, cloudy this morning. By 11 noon, that's when we'll start to see the skies really clear. It'll be 75, 76 degrees around the lunch hour, and in the afternoon, mostly sunny and warm, 82 for the high today. That's about 10 degrees above what is average for this time of year. And then by this evening, we'll have mostly clear skies, really pleasant conditions, temperatures in the mid-70s after sunset, but still, again, a lot warmer than is seasonably average for this time of year. We're going to be at 82 in San Antonio, 85 in Del Rio, close to 90 degrees in Laredo, low 80s in the Hill Country as well, and 84 in Gonzales. Temperatures will be some 10 degrees above average for San Antonio and some 15 degrees above average for North Texas. So again, this is a lot warmer than what we usually see this time of year. And San Antonio in Texas is going to be one of the hottest places across the nation, even warmer than Florida today. Abilene at 90 degrees. The reason why we're warm, high pressure system overhead. And then there's other parts of the nation that are enjoying cooler weather thanks to low pressure system off of California. California enjoying cooler weather right now as well. Now, What I want you to do is I want you to watch this low pressure system carefully. This low pressure system is going to move to the north and miss San Antonio, but there's going to be one on its wake. And that low pressure system is going to position itself into a place that's at least going to give us the chance for some rain starting Wednesday. And then particularly on Thursday, storms are going to be possible for San Antonio all the way up to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Oklahoma City. It's this area that we're going to watch. We have to watch. We still have questions on the exact timing of the storms and the severe risks. These storms could be strong, producing hail, gusty winds, those kinds of things, but we still have exact questions on what those risks will be. And finally, rainfall amounts. Still a question there. Right now, it looks like we'll have higher rainfall totals in Dallas than here in San Antonio, but coming up in the next half hour, I'll show you a little bit of an estimate of what we expect as far as rainfall goes. Otherwise, after that system moves through, it ends up being pretty nice. By Friday, our highs will be back in the 70s with mornings in the 50s. But until then, we are going to be in a stretch here, Sarah, of very warm spring-like weather. Again, running 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year.
We need those storms, though. But
We
I
really
am
need the
really
rain.
concerned about what you're saying about the hail possibilities and the flooding.
There's still a question as to what those risks will be, the timing of those risks. We just wanted to put it on your radar early here.
Thank you. All right, thanks, Sarah. All right, it's 6:21, 68 degrees. Let's get a preview with Texas Eats.
So you're going to be making 3 of your top dishes today for us to celebrate 5 years. Which dishes are you making?
We're going with the absolute winners. We're going lobster ravioli, lobster stuffed and ricotta cheese ravioli, diced shrimp over a vodka sauce. Ooh. Then we're doing a ribeye marsala, a beautiful aged marsala wine, a nice 14-ounce ribeye, and a linguine pasta. Then we're going to do a classic chicken Florentine. We're going to saute some spinach, saute some mushrooms, Parmesan cheese, Alfredo sauce. It's just wonderful.
And then you go out there, you get a nice glass of wine, you're hanging out. So I'm going to let you guys get to it. I'll meet you out in the dining room. Albie, now we're out here in the dining room, and in front of us are the 3 dishes that you mentioned in the kitchen. Plus we have tiramisu for the dessert, bread on the side, 2 glasses of wine. It doesn't get better than this moment right here. This is what it's all about.
Well, Frida Fest is here this weekend from noon to 6 p.m. It's a free, family-friendly festival celebrating Frida Kahlo's legacy. The festival will be held at Maverick Plaza at La Vallita Historic Arts Village, featuring a handcrafted artisan mercado with over 60 vendors, live performances, a fashion show, art show, authentic Mexican cuisine, live cooking demonstrations, and a community altar to honor strong women. There will also be an on-site bar, photo ops, artist panels, and fun for all ages. 6:26, 68 degrees. Adopting a family member just got easier in Texas. We'll show you the new changes that could speed up the process to help relatives keep kids close. And a controversial wastewater permit could impact Texas water supply. Now, State Senator Donna Campbell is pushing back. We'll tell you why this debate matters to thousands. Good morning, it's 6:30. Happy Saturday. It's November 15th. Hey, we're like halfway through
November on the dot. We've only got 15 more days of Atlantic hurricane season as well. All's quiet, no
and then
worries
Christmas,
there.
right?
And then Christmas.
I cannot believe we are almost through November and it's like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I mean, it's just...
I'm setting up our Christmas decorations today. I'm doing it.
We ordered a new Christmas tree last night.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Look
we'll
at
have
us.
to send pictures. Maybe I'll show some pictures tomorrow of our setup.
Ooh.
Let's wait and see. Okay, so we do have some patchy fog and mist early this morning. Take a look at this. Visibility is down to a mile in Uvalde. It's down to a quarter of a mile in Los Maples, down to about 5 miles in Gonzales. So you might run into some mist, especially as you're heading out very early this morning. By 9, 10 o'clock, we're really just going to be left with some clouds and and in the afternoon it will be sunny. So take a look at the forecast for this weekend. Today 82, again afternoon clearing. By 9 o'clock we'll be at 73. It's actually going to feel pretty good after sunset tonight. You won't want the jackets, you won't need the jackets. A really nice Saturday evening for any outdoor plans. And then tomorrow, a very similar day to today. We're going to have some morning fog, some morning mist, 84 for the high with gradually clearing skies. So this weekend, warm and humid for us, cloudy in the morning. But our next system arrives around Thursday-ish, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, though, is the main day where we could see some even severe storms. And as far as rainfall goes, it is looking more promising for San Antonio. I'll talk about potential rainfall coming up in just a bit. Sarah.
Texas State Senator Donna Campbell is urging Texas environmental regulators to reverse course on a controversial permit that was given to a wastewater treatment facility that is tied to a large housing development planned for Northwest Bexar County. In a letter to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, Campbell says the Guajolote Ranch project threatens groundwater, endangered species, and public health. She also argues the agency failed to follow its own procedures. Proposed Lennar development would bring nearly 3,000 homes to more than 1,100 acres near Scenic Loop and Babcock Roads and discharge about 1 million gallons a day of treated wastewater into the Helotes Creek watershed. Now, that area helps recharge both the Trinity Glen Rose Aquifer and up to 15% of the Edwards Aquifer, the main water source for more than 2 million people. Campbell joins 13 other lawmakers from both parties opposing the permit. Now, although the TCEQ approved the permit on October 22nd, it's not yet final, as parties have 25 days from the date the decision was signed, October 28th, to file for a rehearing, which the Scenic Loop Alliance, the group fighting this, plans on doing so. Okay, 5 more families have joined a lawsuit against Camp Mystic, where 27 campers and counselors died in the July 4th floods. These families are part of Ellen Gitten's lawsuit we reported earlier this week. So about the Gittens, who lost their daughter Ellen in this tragedy, their lawsuit, along with others, claims Camp Mystic ignored flood warnings and failed to evacuate campers and counselors. By our count, at least 19 families are involved in 4 separate lawsuits against the camp. We also have a full statement from Camp Mystic in response to these lawsuits. You can find them on KSAT.com. It wasn't her mess, but a retired East Side woman said the city told her it was her problem. So we made it ours too. 71-year-old Rita Cordova said earlier this month she got a notice of violation from the city. Someone dumped more than 50 truck tires in the alley behind her home. Cordova called code enforcement only to learn that because the tires were behind her house, it was her responsibility to remove them.
Call 3112 and they said basically the same thing.
Even if it's illegal dumping,
yeah,
it's your problem.
Because it's in the alley behind the house. That's what they told him.
So you didn't put it there, but you got to get it out, is the message, huh?
I couldn't even put one there.
So we called the city. That's when things started to move. A spokeswoman for code enforcement confirmed they would remove the tires without any cost to Cordova. And by mid-afternoon yesterday, all the tires were gone. Well, the Washington State Health Department reported that a resident has been hospitalized with bird flu. This is the first human case of bird flu in the U.S. in 9 months. Officials say the patient caught a strain of the virus that has never been seen in humans before. So right now it's not clear how this older patient got infected. Health officials are reaching out to people who may have been close to him and to watch for any symptoms. The Texas A&M University system is making an effort to clarify how race and gender identity can be taught and discussed in its classrooms. On Thursday, the system's regents unanimously approved a new rule to limit discussions about these topics. The rule says campus presidents must approve any material that, quote, advocates race or gender ideology or topics about sexual orientation or gender identity. Another approved rule says teachers can only use materials that match the course syllabus. These changes come after a professor at Texas A&M was fired in September following a student's claim that the professor taught gender ideology. Adopting a child within your own family, known as kinship adoption, is getting easier here in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott recently announced changes to speed up the process and lighten the load for relatives already caring for these children. Our Erica Hernandez breaks down what's changing and why one local judge says it's about time.
Every week, families gather at the Bexar County Children's Court to make it official. It's Adoption Day. But for relatives adopting children they're already raising, the process hasn't always been easy. But that's changing. Governor Greg Abbott and the Texas Health and Human Services Commission announced this week Texas is streamlining rules to better protect kids in care and make it easier for relatives to become foster parents.
This is a very, very good thing. It's always the goal to keep children within family.
Children's Court Judge Charles Montemayor says the change is long overdue.
But I think by the actions taken by the government, we can now work further with family members where we can put the children with family members they know, with an environment they're familiar with.
So what's different? The state is removing 195 requirements while keeping 55 essential rules to keep kids safe in care. Some of the changes include housing inspections will focus more on health and safety, not paperwork. Unnecessary training for kinship foster parents will be cut out, and less paperwork will be needed for over-the-counter medications. Right now, about 40% of the foster youth in Texas are actually with family, but the hope is to get that number to grow.
We have to act in the best interest of the child for that child's life not to be squandered. And so we work very hard to ensure that their childhood is preserved, and again, hopefully with family.
Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
637 and 68 degrees. Elderly homelessness is on the rise, but a new program is making a difference. Still ahead, we'll introduce you to one local man who found a new start. Plus, get ready for a holiday light show like no other. Millions of lights synchronized to music you hear right in your car. Where to bring the whole family and your pets for this festive drive-through experience.
And we are starting off with some areas of mist. It was a little misty as I drove into work this morning, but more substantial rain chances are right around the corner. I'll have those details coming up.
The light park is really a fun Christmas holiday light park. We have millions of lights. The lights kind of dance to are synchronized with the music that you put on your FM channel on your radio, car radio. You buy your ticket for the vehicle, and then as many people as you can fit in your car. You could bring your four-legged friends. We have two locations. We have this one here at Nelson Moore Stadium. We have a location that's been here for several years in Selma at the Ritama Park. There are millions of lights in the park, and every year we change it up a little bit so it's not the same year after year. The actual show that you see behind me here takes you approximately 20-25 minutes to drive through.
Are you keeping count? Christmas is 40 days away and the holiday spirit is strong at the Salvation Army. The annual Angel Tree program has officially kicked off, letting people adopt families in need and shop for their wish list. So this year, 6,000 kids' wish lists are ready to be adopted. The Salvation Army says their goal is to make sure everyone can wake up with gifts on Christmas morning.
It is important right now for us to partner with families in need, so that we can bring joy to the family. So on Christmas morning, they can wake up, the children can wake up to a new toy under the tree.
So if you want to get involved, you can visit San Antonio malls, Walmarts, and Sam's Clubs now through December 12th. Just pick a list from the Christmas tree and shop for that family in need. And if you prefer to shop online, head to Salvation Army's website to find online registries. More elderly people are facing homelessness, and that's why Haven for Hope launched a special program just for them. The Young at Heart program started this summer, and our Courtney Freeman met one of its first clients who's now living independently in his own apartment.
With the push of a button,
yeah,
a short stroll down a hallway, and the turn of a key.
There we go.
Your very own space.
Jim Fouts is in his very own apartment, the first real home he's had in a long time.
Congrats on all of this.
He just moved in this month, so he's still working on furniture, but this is a big deal.
And you got to believe me that being on the street sucks, because I've been there.
When Jim got to Haven for Hope last year, it was good timing because the shelter was just creating its Young at Heart program, specifically for people ages 65 and up.
These are our parents, our grandparents. They're the caregiver generation, the baby boomers, and now unfortunately we're seeing they're the largest population that's growing and experiencing homelessness.
Haven's Senior Director of Case Management, Jesse Burden, says anyone in that age group who enters the shelter gets case managers that prioritize them, get documents and income lined up, and of course, housing.
You thought it was going to take longer.
Yeah.
And so then when they told you your apartment's ready, what went through your head?
I was just shocked.
What does it make you feel like to have your own apartment?
It feels good to have a place to say that's my address. It brings me a sense of accomplishment.
Jim now has a permanent housing caseworker.
He asks if I'm getting my medicine okay and if I've been to see the doctor, and he checks to make sure that if I need any help to get food and things like that.
Connecting to Center for Healthcare Services for that mental health support, connecting to primary care for the physical health.
Everything he truly needs to find independence and close the door on homelessness. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Well, District 5 Councilmember Terry Casillo is calling on San Antonians to help families facing food insecurity. So she's teaming up with Impacto Comunitario for a food drive today from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Donations of rice, beans, pasta, tomato sauce, canned goods, cooking oil, flour, seca, and pet food are needed to support those impacted by the federal shutdowns and the SNAP cuts.
I'm setting up the forecast.
Sarah's usually here with me, but she was a little behind, but she's got it now.
Yes.
Sarah, a little bit of mist this morning.
That's right, but otherwise we are going to be looking at sunny skies this afternoon, 82 for the high temperatures. So patchy morning fog and mist both today and tomorrow. It is going to be a warmer weekend. In fact, temperatures are going to be about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than average for the start of the week as well. Now, we're all focused, though, since it's quiet this weekend, on the storm chances in the upcoming week, particularly Wednesday evening and Thursday in the morning hours. That's when strong storms are going to be possible. So let me take you through the futurecast there as we talk about our storm chance first. So a big upper level low is going to be positioning itself in California in a good position to move towards San Antonio and move toward Texas to produce some much needed rain in our area starting on Wednesday. Less of a chance on Wednesday than on Thursday, but still the chance of rain starts Wednesday, carries into Wednesday night, and lasts through at least the portion of Thursday morning. Take a look at storms possible from San Antonio all the way up through Waco, Dallas, even up toward Kansas City. And these storms could be on the strong or severe side. There are a few things we're watching. We're watching the exact timing of those storms. When are storms likely in your neighborhood? We'll continue to keep you posted. And we're watching for severe risks. These kinds of systems tend to produce the potential for hail, perhaps even street flooding, and maybe some gusty winds as well. So we need to continue to watch this and really iron out the details of the severe risks. And finally, we're keeping a close eye on rainfall amounts. As it stands right now, the highest rainfall amount should be from Dallas up to about Oklahoma City. It's in these areas that there could be, in some cases, up to about 8 inches of rain up near Oklahoma City, near Dallas closer to about 4 to 5 inches of rainfall. And then here in San Antonio in south central Texas, we do have the potential to see at least some neighborhoods get maybe perhaps about 2 inches of rain. Now, again, we really have to get closer to Thursday to refine the rainfall forecast, but I do think 1 to 2 inches of rain is within the realm of possibility around San Antonio, and that's much needed rainfall because we're under extreme drought. We'll keep you posted, but outside right now, I mean, you can see it. It is a gray and humid start to the day. We're even seeing some areas of mist out there early this morning. It's 68 degrees in San Antonio, 66 in New Braunfels, 63 in Boerne, and 66 in Kernville. Right now, visibility is okay around San Antonio, but we are starting to see visibility down to about a mile in Uvalde. So there are areas of patchy fog and again, patchy mist out there. Looking at your KSAT 12-hour forecast for your day today, we are going to be looking at clouds hanging around until about 10 o'clock. That's when we'll start to see some clearing. And in the afternoon, it's going to be mostly sunny and warm, 82 for the high in San Antonio, and a pleasant evening with temperatures falling into the 70s after sunset. But it is going to be much warmer than average. Low 80s for the hill country, low 80s for San Antonio, mid 80s for areas like Pleasanton, Nixon, Smiley, Gonzales, and Uvalde. And over the next several days, we're going to be well above average by some 10 to 15 degrees. Tuesday is going to be our hottest day. We'll be at 85 in San Antonio before things clear and cool down by Friday in the 70s. But on Tuesday, again, 85. That is about 10 to 15 degrees above average. Take a look at Tuesday's temperatures, hotter than average by about 20 degrees across the entire state. So a very warm stretch here for us, and then we see that cool front move through that brings the potential for some stronger storms on Thursday, particularly in the morning. And again, I'm hoping that we get 1 to 2 inches of rain around San Antonio. That's what the forecast is hinting at right now. We will keep you posted.
We really need that rain, Sarah, but I'm a little worried about the impacts.
The potential for severe weather, right. We need to keep our eye on that, and we will do that for you, keeping you posted.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. 650, 68 degrees. Have a daughter who loves baseball. How to get involved in a free training session right here in San Antonio. Let's take a look outside with TransGuide. Yeah, this is kind of an annoying mess this morning. That's I-35 at Floridas. These are the southbound lanes. You see 2 lanes are closed with a major backup. As early as 6:50, Sarah said it was impacting her drive, adding at least 15 minutes to her commute this morning. So if southbound lanes of 35 at Floridas, the downtown area, is in your commute, please plan for it. At least 15 to 20 minutes. You're going to be stuck in that traffic. We'll be right back. Happening today, Brackenridge Park Conservancy invites you and your family to the 2nd annual Brack Bash. From noon to 4 at the Sunken Garden Theater. Bring a picnic blanket and enjoy a day filled with live music, vintage cars, petting zoo, and food trucks. Also happening at Brackenridge Park. Prepare for parking down there at the zoo. The San Antonio-based nonprofit Get At Us Youth Baseball Club is helping girls across Texas step up to the plate. They're hosting a free girls baseball training session at Lambert Beach softball field. Girls ages 6 to 18 can get their hands on drills and coaching from experienced trainers. Check-in starts at 3:30 with training at 4 to 6. The event is free, but registration is recommended to save a spot. All right, 654, 68 degrees. Here's a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the West Coast washout. More than 22 million Americans are waking up to heavy rainfall with fears that it could lead to flash flooding and mudslides. We're live on the scene. And President Trump ordering the Justice Department to investigate possible connections between convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and Democrats, including former President Bill Clinton. This after a number of Epstein's emails referring to President Trump were released. Also, we hear from 2 families now suing the formula company linked to the outbreak of infant botulism. At least 23 infants have confirmed or suspected cases of the illness now. Plus, College Game Day. Live from Pittsburgh, ESPN's Desmond Howard breaks down today's biggest college football matchups. It's all ahead right here on GMA.
All right, the TV provider YouTube TV and our affiliate network ABC, well, they've reached a deal after 2 weeks of negotiations. So if you're a YouTube TV subscriber, you're probably able to watch us now on KSAT 12, ABC, and ESPN are all available again. With that being said, lots of college football games coming up later today on KSAT. Check out that lineup. UT faces Georgia as part of a triple header of college football games that you can watch here on KSAT 12. All 6 teams are ranked in the top 25. We got Oklahoma and Alabama also, and then we have Notre Dame and Pitt. Those games starting by 11 o'clock this morning. All All right, how does a free cheeseburger sound? Hat Creek Burger, good, is offering free cheeseburgers to anyone with UT gear for the game today. That's on ABC. The offer lasts from 3 to 9 in all 26 Hat Creek locations. Gosh, we have 26. The closest Hat Creek Burger Company is in Live Oak. The offer is only valid for a Little Hat cheeseburger and is limited to 1 per person while food lasts.
Well, as an Aggie, I won't be wearing UT gear.
No free burger for you.
No, it's cloudy out there with some areas of patchy mist. We're going to see a high temperature of 82 today. A couple of degrees warmer tomorrow. Very similar weather, patchy morning fog and mist tomorrow as well. A warm weekend, and then we have the chance for storms, particularly on Thursday. All of the latest on the severe weather threat for Thursday coming up at 8.
Thanks, Sarah. Don't go anywhere. Good Morning America is next, and we'll be back here from 8 to 10.
The struggle and pain continues. We recently told you about 9 families that were displaced after a fire heavily damaged their apartment building on the northwest side. This is what that scene looked like on Friday. The complex is located on USAA Boulevard near Fredericksburg and Huebner Roads. And these are photos that one family shared with us. You can see the inside of Lopez's unit. Everything completely destroyed. Here's what they had to say.
Literally everything was destroyed, and there were so many memories in that house and lots of stuff that reminded me of things I love.
Even now, I guess groceries would be one of the main things that we would need to do to get. And then since my daughter, both of us lost everything, but I'm just more concerned for her at the moment. So she would need, like, you know, socks, clothes, you know, undergarments.
They hope they can move into a new unit sooner rather than later.
And the conversation this morning around what to do with the closed San Antonio ISD campuses continues. This morning, we're getting a look at some of the companies and organizations that have made a pitch to move into some of those buildings. Now, here's a list of the 10 groups interested in renting out one of the 5 buildings out of the more than a dozen available. We got this list in an open records request. Brass Development is a real estate company. East San Antonio Community Development, Flight Academy. A few churches are also interested. Nova Academy has schools in other parts of Texas, and the district would not release more details on which properties they want to rent or what they are proposing to do, saying they are still in the RFP process. Meanwhile, there are additional community meetings happening to discuss other buildings still vacant. The next meeting is November 28th, focused on Rodriguez Montessori at 6 p.m. And there is also one on December 12th focused on Steele Montessori. Information can be found on KSAT.com. Just search SAISD. Okay, this morning we are getting a first look at the companies interested in moving into San Antonio ISD's building left vacant by more than a dozen school closures. These are some of them. We got this list through an open records request. Here's some of them. San Antonio Scottish Rite Library and Museum, Taxposition, which appears to be a science and technology center. Some churches are also interested in moving into the buildings, and that's just for the first 5 campuses that are on the list. There have still not been requests for proposals for other campuses. But community meetings to discuss those other campuses are ongoing. On November 28th, there's going to be a meeting to discuss the Rodriguez Montessori campus at 6 p.m. You can head to KSAT.com and search SAISD for coverage of this SAISD right-sizing effort.
Well, San Antonio is soon projected to house close to 50 data centers. That's according to District 6 Councilman Rick Galvan. If you look at one of the maps that we have online, these are clusters of data centers in San Antonio that are established or will be established in the coming years. These are centers that power our online activities, but they also come with a bit of controversy, and that's because some of these centers may have a negative impact on the environment. Councilman Galvan filed the first request for the City Council to consider tracking and regulating these centers.
So currently there's little to no specific regulation on the way data centers are constructed or allowed to be built. So, well, what things can we do here to make sure that these entities are providing some community benefits in the area? How can we make sure that they're reducing impacts of the environment overall? How can we make sure that the energy and water usage here is being used as effectively as possible and not, anything too extreme? I'm not sure if that'll happen through the CCR. It's going to be a conversation the City Council will have, about what our direction is. But I think it's worth the conversation given that we are one of the largest markets for new development of data centers in the state.
While Councilman Galvan said there are approximately 14 centers in his district alone, District 6. Visit KSAT.com for a look at the full interactive map of these locations based on the data set that was provided by his office.